Welcome back to this episode of 1320 Time Stream. Here we're covering the 67th codon or gene key, which is part of the 42nd harmonic, which is the second harmonic in the 9th run of the throat chakra run. This is broken down into 3 parts: the shadow, the gift, and the siddhi. And what we're covering now is the gift, which is known as precision. Let us continue. The greatest step. The 67th gift, the gift of precision, is far beyond the realm of intellect, which, as we have seen, is based on mere knowledge. As you start to awaken through the higher frequencies of this gene key, you either begin to question the world around you, the repressive nature, or you stop questioning everything, the reactive nature. Awakening is magical in its ability to bring about a natural balance within your being. In other words, if you are caught in the obsessive behavior patterns of the repressed 60-second shadow, your mental abilities suddenly begin to come alive again, as though someone had cleaned the windows of your perception. You begin to question your own obsessive behavior, which ultimately brings about a complete transformation in your attitude, and usually in your lifestyle as well. In the case of the reactive 60-second shadow, your awakening will take you through a natural humbling process in which you realize that you are causing your own misery by focusing in minute and irrelevant detail on anything and everything but your own pain. When you begin to lock into your own nature and take full responsibility for your behavior, you will go through a wonderful softening process as your natural feminine side comes once again to the forefront. I can definitely attest to almost that exact process, and can definitely say that I loved the whole thing. Becoming the authentic me, which in no way am I fully done. I'm still a miraculous growing and glowing butterfly, the rainbow variety. And yeah, I'm just really stoked to share this and that with you. Let's continue. In both cases, we are seeing the gift of precision, being reborn. Precision happens when natural intelligence strikes a balance between the heart and the mind. But with one caveat: the heart, the feminine principle, is given control over life. The masculine principle, the intellect, then moves into service of the feminine principle, which is about intuition, listening and receiving, rather than thinking, expressing, and transmitting. Now I want to bring illumination to something here, which I find actually really profound. Now, other than this particular work, the order that the gene keys are being placed, which is the order of the harmonics, I believe is the only place in any particular system or practice where this order is actually present. Now, the reason I find that significant, because the last gene key that we covered represented and spoke a lot about the birthing and the full surrendering to the divine feminine. And I find it very interesting that this seems to be it's like it prepared us. And it's looking deeper into the formats of mind and consciousness that are kind of in the way of really diving into that, to surrender into that. And I really like the feeling of continuosity of that divine feminine energy showing up in these transmissions, because as our world evolves, we are given chances and choices. And the kind of great her, the spirit of this creation, is what's guiding it all. And though it may feel like we have a choice, eventually we really need to surrender to that force in a way that makes sense to you, in a way that's good, and in a way that really helps. It's really important at this time to observe these things. Okay. As the gift of precision grows stronger, it may seem as though the world gradually begins to come alive again. Intelligence recognizes Intelligence. Intelligence recognizes intelligence. And with the mind out of the way, the invisible essence that connects all beings is once again felt. For example, when you look at a tree through the 60-second shadow, you register only the facts you have learned about it, about the tree. You register its name, type, and other words connected to it, branches, twigs, leaves, and so on. But you never see the actual tree. The tree is intelligent, and to really know the tree, you have to use your own intelligence. This means that you don't simply look through your eyes and mind. You take the tree into your being. You feel its aliveness, its mysterious aura. You actually breathe it into yourself. Precision is what happens when intelligence is born. It's not simply about being precise and exact at an intellectual level. It's a completely new way of seeing life. Precision is inspirational and original. The 61st gift is inspiration. And such inspiration does not depend on your vocabulary. When the gift of precision describes something, it arranges facts in ways that are inspirational and exciting rather than dull and dry. This is also a mark of the heart. As this gift arises in a person, they begin to communicate with such economy and exactness that almost everything they say is beautiful, poignant, and seamless. Such people soon develop keen gifts as communicators, speakers, writers, artists, actors, or scientists. This gift is designed to find the limelight. When the heart leads the way and uses logic to describe what it sees and feels, others cannot help but listen. The 62nd gene key is genetically coupled with the 31st gene key, forming the codon ring as the ring of no return. This mystical name describes the evolutionary process that takes place when higher consciousness reaches the throat center in human beings. Wow. How profound is that? Also part of the arrangement of the harmonics and their associated codons or gene keys being paired with the Zolkin system, the 1320 Mayan calendar dream spell system, we're in the throat chakra run. And so quite naturally, the universe has paired this key with that very energy center. If you wanted to play with odds and randomness, well, that's a 1 in 64 chance of that occurring. But there is no chance in a living system. The living system knows itself. It is just us who is waking up to its design, us who is becoming aware of how to see it. This mythical name describes the evolutionary process that takes place when higher consciousness reaches the throat center in human beings. The throat center is where the greatest human initiations occur. Once the higher involutionary currents begin to use your voice to transmit their truths, you begin a process of detaching from your own identity. The 62nd gene key allows access to the universal language of light behind all forms. When the pitch of your frequency allows it, the words you speak and their emanations change and begin to serve a higher purpose. This purpose is twofold. Firstly, it transforms you because it allows you to really vibrate your heart and transmit your love through language. And secondly, it brings more light into the world and separates the transmission of your awakening to others, spreads the transmission of your awakening to others. That's what we're doing right here. There's deep magic woven into language. It is why the origin of the word spell correlates with the idea of casting spells that have power over others. Every word has an inner spirit, a code of light that lends to an independent force in the cosmos. The moment a word or group of words is given voice, vibrations radiate out into the universe. There is no return. At the level of the 62nd gift, your use of words becomes much more precise because you recognize this great truth. The 31st gene key describes this gradual process of becoming a clearer channel for truth itself. I find very much like we've spoken about, it speaks through you. You're a vessel. And even though I may just be redundantly speaking about that, I like to give many different analogs to be able to see. And so in this way, we're opening ourselves up to be kind of grasped and filled by this force. And as we allow it in, it articulates itself through us in the ways that we are naturally skilled and artistic. In essence, light is breaking through your words. As your language becomes purer, you expose your heart to others and to the world. You are taking the greatest step, the leap from worship to embodiment. I love it. It is here that you will have to face the fear of humiliation as you give your voice up to your heart. Words spoken from love are deeply healing. At the same time, they can stir up all manner of projections from shadow frequency. This is why there is no return once you begin to speak your truth. You have broken away from the lower realms forevermore. The 60-second gift represents the true power behind the gene keys themselves. At first, it gives you a private inner language that allows you to initiate a deep transformation of your shadow consciousness. At a certain stage in your journey, however, you will feel the call of this language within you and its urge to escape into the world through your voice. It may well frighten you to speak to others using the higher frequencies and tones, but this is the beginning of your higher initiation. Once begun, it will gather momentum inside of you. Feel yourself literally taken over by the higher self. Until you feel yourself literally taken over by your higher self, you will no longer use words that protect others from themselves, but will speak the truth as you feel it arising from deep within you. This is essentially called transparency. This is an aspect of communicating transparently, clearly and without projection. The fact is that the more rarefied your frequency, the fewer words are available to you, so your language takes on a beautiful simplicity. The 64 words that describe the cities will become embedded inside you as the core language of creation. Such words, when felt deeply and spoken from the heart, can carry great Shakti or transformational power. The more rarefied your frequency, the fewer words are available to you, so your language takes on a beautiful simplicity. Wow, that was really nice. I like where the energy of this is going. I personally see it everywhere, with the groups and people that I know, and the way that they're embodying their love, their hearts, their frequency, and their living art to just be in the love that is themselves, and that generally just makes a better world. And I find that all of us are kind of immaculately equipped to deal with challenging situations or the traumas that arise in the people that we interface. And I've seen more and more flawless execution of being able to constantly return to the heart. Less and less arguments break out, less and less fears are indulged upon. Life gets immaculately more simple and far more blissful, I find. A sense of well-being happens to permeate pretty much everything. Well, I feel that will end the second part, which is the gift. And we'll also end the third portion of the harmonic video of this episode of 1320 Time Stream. Stay tuned for the third day, which is the city, which will also be the fourth episode of this particular, I guess you couldn't really call it an episode, the fourth part or portion of this particular episode. Stay tuned. See you soon.